You are now listening to Mondays with Mike Martinez.
Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Mondays with Mike. I'm joined by my new friend here, Ray Polanco, in the solar industry, a beast. I'll let him introduce himself. Ray, where are you from? Talk to the people.
Hey, I'm from Seal Beach, and my name is Ray Polanco, and I have a solar company called Sun Up Solar.
Awesome. So, bro, let's talk about a little bit more about your background. I know you're from Seal Beach. Is that where you originally grew up?
No, I actually grew up in Los Angeles, Compton, and yeah, that's where I grew up.
You're Hispanic, right?
Yes.
Mexican?
Yes. Both
parents,
both immigrants.
How hard was it growing up in Compton being Mexican?
Oh man, it was hard. My dad, my mom's a citizen, but my dad couldn't get citizenship. But we grew up so poor that my dad taught me how to ride a bike when I was 10 to get cans and sell the cans. That's where I learned how to sell.
That's right. That's right. So did you graduate high school?
Yes.
College?
No.
None at all?
No.
What did you do after high school?
I actually went to... I actually went a little bit to medical school, but I was actually grandfathered in to become a surgery tech.
How does that work? How did you get grandfathered in?
So if you start at the lower tier, they just keep training you up, and then eventually you can get a license.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You don't even have to go to school for that. But that's back in the day. I don't know about now.
So I know we talked about this offline in our pre-recording interview, and you said that you were making really good money.
Yes.
Can you talk to me a little about how much money were you making? How long did you do that for? Kind of like, what was that job like?
Yeah, I was making $50 per hour. And I was an orthopedic surgery tech, and I wrote all the SOPs. So, yeah.
And how long did you do that for?
15 years.
So what do you think you were making a year, bro? Like 150K?
Yeah, easily.
For 15 years?
Yes.
And at your peak, you were making 150. So why did you leave that business?
I was burned out, overworking. Any issue, I was being the one called in, just like a CEO, but I wasn't the CEO.
So they were holding you accountable for everything?
Everything.
And how did you get into solar?
My brother-in-law, he worked for a solar company.
And how did you make, so was he making good money?
Yeah, he was making $300.
Doing what?
Selling solar.
Just selling solar?
Just selling solar, yes.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know. I was like, how are you making more than me?
Double.
Yeah.
And he was working less?
Yes.
Because I know solar salesmen be working, bro. So fun fact, I have a kid here. His name's Heaven. Shout out if you're watching. He came from door knocking solar, and he applied for a collection position here. We gave him a chance, and I was excited because I'm like, this kid door knocked. He's a hustler.
Yeah.
And I know that he's a go-getter. And it took him a while to really get like adapted to our environment and to understand, because he was a point caller.
Yeah.
And then we started letting him close, like actually negotiate with the debtors and like talk money off him.
Yeah.
And he's a beast now.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's probably making $7,000 a month.
Yeah.
You know, but it's good. He's a W-2. He's not a contractor.
Yeah.
If he would have been a contractor, like commission only, because he gets paid hourly. If he would have been commission only, he'd probably be making $10,000 a month. He's gonna pivot soon, but he has to earn that spot. But dude, I have so much respect for door knockers and solars, you know, people that are selling solar.
Yeah.
And $300K, they freaking work hard too, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you gotta do everything. You gotta lead generate, right? Because they don't give you the lead, so you gotta lead generate, and then you gotta close the deal.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you almost like a project manager after that, because you gotta hold
manage.
it.
Yeah, you gotta manage. So you gotta keep the customer happy throughout the transition. A lot of people might not know this, but I had a solar company for about 6 months. I didn't like it. I thought I did at the beginning. What I didn't like is we were a sales org.
Yeah.
So we were sales and marketing. That's all we did. We cold called, and we set up appointments, and we sold over the phone, or we'd send the physical rep.
Yeah.
I was doing it in Massachusetts.
Okay.
So with us, it was good, but the installers weren't paying us.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have direct, contacts with the banks. So let's back up and talk about how you pivoted from your job that you were at for 15 years, and like how you pivoted to solar, bro. What was that experience like?
It was hard. Because when I started working for this company, I was working at Home Depot as a booth right? So I was working in a booth for 3 months.
What company?
You
could say it.
All right.
You could say it.
Sunrun. I was working for Sunrun. And then
let's tell the audience what Sunrun is, because I know what Sunrun is since I was in solar. I was in solar like 2 years ago.
So if you go to Costco, you'll see Sunrun. If you go to Home Depot, you'll see Sunrun.
It's like the biggest installers.
It's the biggest. It's the number one install. You know, they have stock options, but
they have their own sales org.
They have their own sales org. So
just to put it in perspective, Sunrun is like the company for solar. One of the companies for solar in America.
Yeah.
One of the biggest, baddest. And they're such a big, strong install company that they have their own sales.
They have their own sales team.
And then they also offer sales organizations to send them contracts. It's basically like somewhat of a monopoly.
Yeah, it is a monopoly. Yeah.
So you're working for Sunrun. What was that experience like?
It was good. I got a lot of training. I had no sales experience, but it was easy for me to talk to anybody. And then from there, after 3 months, I couldn't do it anymore because I was just lead generating. So they keep you there, and they just want you there because you're producing so many leads for them for their closers. So they got to make their closers happy too. So if you're good at lead generating, they just leave you. There's no point of it moving you up.
Why wouldn't they make you a closer?
They just didn't want to.
That's our model right here in my company. You start off as, it's not, we call them point callers, right?
Yeah.
Dialers, but point caller people.
Yeah.
And we start them off like they don't get to talk or negotiate. They just, they let somebody know that they have a serious matter that needs their attention, that they need to address. And as soon as they get somebody live to talk to them, they transfer to a closer.
Yeah.
Then the closer opens up the call and says, this is for a debt. This is what we could do to resolve it. So they have to earn their position and negotiate. There has to be room for growth, or people won't want to work there.
They will want to work.
You're a perfect example.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't want to work. Actually, I was actually told, they call them Sunrunners. He reached out to me. I was actually told by him that they use me as a model of their training. Like, hey, we trained Ray here, and look at him now. So now, like, we can build you like Ray. So I'm trying to investigate, like, who they're using me as an example. I thought it was good, like, cool.
You know, what's funny is there's a guy that bought an agency, and we talked about his processes. And one thing I told him is that to train other people, we use the top performers' recordings, and we turn their conversations into scripts. Yeah. And we use that to train brand new people. This is so common sense, bro, that nobody thinks of and nobody does in their businesses. Yeah. So if you have top sales producers, like, why don't you use their recordings and their calls for trainings? Like, before anybody could even get on the phone, they got to do like 2 or 3 hours of just listening to recordings and giving us feedback. What did you learn from those recordings? Yeah. And then the scripts are based off of the recordings. So it's just, I find it interesting, and I thought it's a good nugget for people to know. Like, that's what we do. That reminded me of what you said right now, that they used you as an example. They use
me as a model. I actually, when I started my company, I actually have so much content of myself being recorded that I give that to my team so they can just copy and paste it and put it to themselves.
SOP.
Yeah, SOP. Yeah.
People don't even know. Bro, I know people that are running multi-million-dollar businesses. Yeah. They don't even know what an SOP is.
It's crazy.
Standard operating procedures, guys. Yeah. It's documenting what works in your business and duplicating it. Yeah. Day in and day
Always.
out. Yeah. So you got into solar and you liked it. Then what happened from Sunrun working at Home Depot booth?
I quit that one. I became a closer for a company called Socius. They're bankrupt. They're already gone. But I was under somebody else, and it was a sales org. They would give us leads. We would go close it. But where I was good at it was door knocking. So when they set my appointment, I would door knock 10 doors and 10 doors across. Boom. Yeah. And I was self-generating my own. And that's where I learned how to market, like just getting more lead generating. Because that's where your money is, lead generating.
I'm studying Alex Hormozi right now.
Same here, bro. I was going to tell you.
I'm studying Alex Hormozi, $100 million leads. I did it backwards.
Okay.
His $100 million offers book came out first. Yeah. I didn't know. I thought I was buying his first book. Yeah. But it was the second one. Yeah. So I'm almost done. I got an hour left.
Yeah.
So what I do now, he taught me this too. Alex Harmozy taught me this. What I do now is I listen to the audio book on my phone.
Yeah.
And I read along on my tablet.
Yeah.
And I get through it fast, bro.
Yeah.
I've been working on this book for a week, maybe 30 minutes to an hour a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And I'm already done with it.
How the hell do you have time? How do you have time to read it?
So what I do is 35 minutes every morning, I do cardio.
Okay.
I do my bike. So I wake up in the morning and I drink a bottle of water and I make my coffee.
Yeah.
And then I use like the disposable coffee cups.
Yeah.
With the lid, and I put it on my bike, my stationary bike, and then I put my tablet on the handle, and then I pop in my audio.
And then you're reading.
And I'm reading along. It's like fun, bro.
Yeah.
I'm drinking my coffee. I'm listening and reading the book, and I'm hitting cardio for 35
That's
minutes.
multitasking. That's 3 things.
Well, I don't even think about working out because I'm focused on the book.
Yeah.
And then before I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, oh, all right, my 35 minutes are done. I got to get ready and go to the office.
Yeah.
So then I hop in the shower and I take off. And then what I also do is like at night, I try to do 30 minutes before I go to sleep of more self-development. So I'm doing an hour a day.
Gotcha.
Of self-development every day. If you do that 5 days a week, bro, you're doing 20 hours. And then if you go to an event every quarter, that's 16 hours. So I'm doing a lot of hours of self-development. I know we talked about how many books have you read?
30.
And what time frame?
Probably I read in the first 6 months. In the solar, I probably read 10, 15.
Just on solar?
Just in marketing, lead generating, sales. Yeah, it's because when I was a surgery tech, you had to keep up with your license, so you had to always read, right? Or else if you don't practice, you lose your license.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're already used to stuff.
I was used to it.
So since in the last 3 years, you read like 30 books?
30, 35. Yeah, I stopped counting. Yeah, I just say 30, 35 now. It might be more. I don't know.
I've read about over 100 books.
Wow.
In the last 3 years. And audio and physical books.
Nice.
Mixture.
Yeah.
I mix. Sometimes I'll do audio. Now I like what I just discovered from Alex.
Yeah.
Like reading along while you're listening to it.
Yeah.
It's like if he's reading the book to you.
Yeah.
You're reading along.
No, I remember when you asked me before this, like, which one's my favorite book? I went through my books. I'm like, okay, that's the one that I had the aha moment of marketing. Because in the book, he says, you got to give your customer such a good offer that there's no way, there must be a catch. And that's the type of offer that we give. Like, hey, there's no way, there must be a catch. I'm not going to do this. Let me do a little bit of research. And that should be the only objection you get. And that's
so $100 million offer.
The $100 million lead. That's from Alex. And
that's the one I'm reading.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Did you read the offer one?
No, I haven't read the offer one. Yeah. That one's better?
I don't know. I haven't read it.
Oh, okay.
I started with leads, but offers next because I know the difference because I studied with Cardone Ventures.
Yeah.
So I know how powerful an offer can be. I studied. I took the sales workshop with Cardone Grant Cardone's company. I also took the marketing workshop. So a lot of the stuff I already know it.
Yeah.
But Alex goes more in detail and how to structure and frame it.
Yeah.
But with an offer, I follow a 5-step sales process and the offer's in there. So the first one is greeting. Hey, good morning. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah.
A greeting, right? The next one is a fact finding. So what has you thinking about solar?
Yeah.
Right? You get their reason and their why and why it's important to them. Is it the light bill? Is it finally getting to you?
Yeah.
Right? So they're just questions that you're asking. Is it the brand new Tesla? Did you just get an electric car?
Yeah.
Why do you want solar? Are you solar? Are you doing your whole life electric now? Right? So you're conversing with them. You're making it fun for them to answer your questions. So that's fact finding. You're listening. You're taking notes so that you know why they want to do business with you.
Yeah.
The third one, that's where the presentation and the offer comes in. The presentation is the demo, right? That's the solution that you have to their problem, or you have what they want, why they want to do business with you. And then the offer is in the presentation. How much does it cost to do business with you? What's the price tag on it?
Yeah.
That's the offer, right? So the value, the presentation is the value, And then the offer is how much is that value going to cost them?
Yeah.
And the value has to obviously outweigh the price. You're getting $100 million value for $100. You'd be dumb not to do business with.
Oh, yeah.
That's Alex's
That's
theory.
pretty.
But I learned the structure and the framework. I learned it from Cardone.
Yeah.
From Cardone Ventures. And
But he just explains it more
he
in detail.
explains it differently. And then the last one is the close. The close, there's two different kinds of closes.
Yes.
CTTI has one and Cardone Ventures has another one. They teach the AMA. So to overcome objections, we do acknowledge, motivate, and ask.
Mine's similar. I have agree, answer, ask.
That's from Alex.
Yeah. Is it? Agree. I thought I made that up.
Yeah, it's
agree, answer, ask.
Yeah, so it's very similar. This is Brandon Dawson's formula.
Gotcha.
So he teaches this. So with acknowledge is like, oh no, I agree with you. I completely understand that this is a very expensive project, and I get it. It's a lot of money for me too. You agree with them, right?
Yeah.
Acknowledge them.
You just have to agree.
Yep. Then you motivate them. Then you're like, let me just remind you why it's important. Because the light bill's getting higher, right? Everything is going electric. So you don't want to get stuck paying. Me, myself, in Rancho Cucamonga, I've had $800 a month electric bill.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm starting to buy electric vehicles. I don't want my bill to go higher.
Yeah.
That's why it's important. Right? And you also raise the value of the property. And you look like a smart investor. So then you go to the ask.
Yeah.
So that being the case, wouldn't you agree that it's worth it?
Wouldn't you agree? You wouldn't be against it, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Alex right there. He says you wouldn't be against moving forward with this.
That's that other guy though. Never Split the Difference. I forget the author. Is it Dale? No. That's from another book.
Interesting.
It's like you wouldn't be against this, would you?
Because it's easier for them to say no, I wouldn't be against it, than them saying yes because they feel like you're going to manipulate them. Right?
Yeah.
So it's easier to say no.
Saying no. This is becoming a sales coaching podcast right now.
Yeah.
So saying no, they're used to it.
Yes.
Saying yes, people are like, let me think about it.
Correct.
Or, no, I'm not interested. So you're like, you wouldn't be against like all the reasons that I explained to you right now why you should be doing it. I mean, you wouldn't disagree, would you?
Yeah, and then you sound confused. So when they sound confused, they're like, no, I wouldn't, no. They get like an aha moment. That's what I call the aha moment.
Yep.
And then they convince themselves.
All right. So we're ready. So you let them know at that point when you got them. So we're ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna get the contract drafted up so we can move forward. Do you have any other questions? You're giving them a chance to come up with other objections.
Correct.
And then you go back to the AMA again.
Correct.
You do it over
loop
and over.
You loop it until you get rid of all the objections.
Yep. And the first person to give up, that's who loses.
Yeah.
The one that doesn't give up, that's who wins the sale.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this conversation. So you got into solar. You worked for a couple of sales orgs.
Yes.
You got some more experience.
Oh yeah.
And then when did you actually start your business? How challenging was that?
It was very challenging because I didn't know what to do. We're a sales org, and then we had to become an installer. So the hardest part, the most challenge was to actually get the installs done and permitting. That is really challenging. I think everybody can agree when you're in the service, like it's hard to get even permits. And I had no experience with that. My team didn't have an experience with that. So I had to learn and read books on how to get permitting.
Because you just started off as a sales org.
Yeah.
Marketing and sales. So that's why I went out of business.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to make an excuse right now, right? Which I shouldn't be making excuses, but that's an excuse I told myself 2 years ago, is I don't have any control over not getting paid from the installers that we were working for. Because basically we were working for a company that we were like a sales org for a sales org, right? Because we were good.
Yeah.
But we didn't have their connections. We didn't have any control over the installs. We didn't have any control over the finance. We didn't have our direct finance. So we were never getting paid. And then the companies we were working for, they're just dragging their feet. They didn't care.
Were they getting paid? Who knows, right?
I don't know, dude. It got to the point where I just got frustrated because we had a partner that's supposed to be the expert.
Yeah.
And he really didn't want to be too involved in the operational side.
Yeah.
And me and my other partner, we were new to solar. We were good at marketing and sales and structure and, you know, running a sales team, but we didn't know the operational side.
Yeah.
So I got frustrated because, you know, I was putting up some cash and I'm bleeding.
For all the marketing.
After 6 months, my excuse was, I don't have time to manage this business for you guys. I don't have time to manage this business with you guys.
Yeah. I
have a collection agency that I'm scaling. I don't got time for this shit. I'm out.
Yeah.
So I jumped out, and when I jumped out, everything shut down.
Yeah.
You know? But that's just a lesson for failure. It's all good. It's not my first business that fails.
Yeah, you need pain. If you think about it, you need pain so you can transition and become better, right? So you just became better. You learned from that. I'm not going to do that no more. Or so if you end up doing it, you already know the mistakes.
So your biggest challenge was my challenge when I was in that industry is the operational side and the connections.
Yes.
Number one, you don't know how it works. Number two, you had no control.
Correct.
So what was your solution? So
I just kept making calls, and I actually sold, like I pretty much sold all the finance companies that we will provide the sales, because a lot of the finance companies, they're not going to give you an opportunity if you only have 1 month in business. You have no installs.
Yeah.
So they're not going to give you an opportunity. So I was fortunate enough that I built a relationship with a couple finance companies, and they gave us the opportunity. Yeah.
And that was even without you having your own install teams?
Correct. I didn't have an install team yet.
And so the connection.
Yeah, it was the connection. I just kept reaching out. Yeah.
And then what ended up happening? Like, why did you focus on building your own install team, and how challenging was that?
It's the payment. Same way, you know, you don't get paid sometimes. You don't know whose fault is it. So that's the reason I had to build my own system.
Did you find anything easy about this?
No. It's not easy.
So I always ask this, bro, and I've had a couple responses where business owners will be like, "Yeah, the sales part was easy.
Yeah,
they're talented salespeople. I'll give it to them." I consider myself. A lot of people don't know this. But I consider myself pretty damn good at sales.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that know that I'm good at sales, and they consider me a really good salesperson. A perfect example is my new partner, Carmen. She's my CFO. She's now my partner. I joined her in her accounting and tax firm. So I now own that business with her, and we're scaling. I'm buying other businesses, we're attaching. And the first thing that I did when I got into the business with her is I looked at her sales and marketing structure. And I'm like, you have no sales.
Yeah.
Like, you have no sales team. This is why you can't grow. This is why we haven't scaled.
Yeah.
So I started focusing on that. And her partner, Abby, shout out to Abby, she's one of the partners too. She's like, fuck, Mike could sell ice to Eskimos. So I've heard that expression before, it's a compliment. So I took it as a compliment, but a lot of people don't know that I'm really good at sales because I studied it a lot. I've read Wolf of Wall Street books, like all that shit, right? Grant Cardone, the sales guy of sales guys. And what people don't realize is that even though you might think it's easy, for 99% of the world, sales is hard, and that's supposed to be the easiest part.
Yeah.
Imagine everything else.
Oh yeah. I feel like if you understand sales, it's easy. It's really just finding the solution for that consumer, right? And you just got to keep asking questions. Let me see what the solution is, so they can get that aha moment. So I think you think like me right there.
Well, I think it's because we've read a lot of sales books.
Probably.
That's what they teach you in sales books. It's not about taking advantage of anybody.
No, exactly.
It's about digging, asking the right powerful questions to get the answer that you're looking for. The quality. I learned this from Brandon Dawson. The quality of your question will determine the quality answer that they give you. Brandon Dawson taught me that. The quality of your question will determine the quality of answer that you get.
Yeah.
Right? If you're asking a shitty question, you're going to get a shitty answer.
Yeah.
But if you ask good and difficult questions, one of the questions that I like to ask business owners, bro, that makes them super uncomfortable. You ready?
Yeah, I go.
All right.
Ask me. Come on.
What was your revenue last year?
Oh, my revenue or my revenue was 1.8.
1.8?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to finish with the really...
I just don't want to get taxed.
No, I know.
That's the reason.
I know. So what was your net?
800.
800, okay. This is the most difficult question, bro. It makes you cringe.
Yeah.
All right? You ready for it?
Yeah.
How liquid are you?
Oh. I'm liquid enough. I'm comfortable. I don't have to work for a year.
Okay.
All right.
So you see how nobody wants to answer that question?
Yeah.
People are like, that's a difficult question to ask.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult question to answer.
Yeah.
So I could keep beating you up, but since we're on camera, I won't. Because that's something that I would do in private. I would be like, no, I know, bro, but how liquid are you?
Yeah.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like telling somebody, I'll tell you how liquid I am if you tell me how liquid you are. But these are difficult questions that you can apply to any business. You could ask people very difficult questions, and the more uncomfortable they are, if you can get them to answer it, that's it, bro, you're done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So solar was difficult. We know that you did 800,000 last year in net. You did 1.8 in gross?
1.8.
1.8 in gross. Congratulations.
Thank you, dude.
So you broke past the first break point. Your next target should be 3 million.
I'm going for 10, man.
Well, yeah, but it takes time. So this is my recipe because I'm on my way to $1 million with my new business venture. So we want to get past 1 million.
Okay.
Then I hop over 3 million, which is the second break point. Then I hop over 8 million. Then I hop over 15 million. That's how we scale. So like my agency right now, I'm finally getting past breakpoint 4. I've been stuck here for 2 years, breakpoint 4. Breakpoint 4 is between 15 and 25 million.
Wow.
I've been stuck here since 2023. This year, I'm breaking through that shit. So I'm shooting for 30 million. 30 million is breakpoint 5. 25 million to 40 million.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, it's different levels. It's always different levels.
I learned all this from Brandon Dawson in the last 2.5 years. So a lot of the stuff that I do, like, I'm like a sponge and I absorb everything I learn. I have a horrible memory, so I don't know how I do it. Yeah. But I'm getting good at learning the stuff over and over and over, so I know. So what's next for you, bro?
So I started a new company where we scale smaller install companies and use our model that worked for us, for my company, and implement it into their company.
Okay. I know you shared it with me earlier. Yeah. I think it's genius.
Thank you.
Is anyone else doing that?
No.
That's genius.
Thank you.
So when you're the pioneer, you're the first one there.
Yeah.
You get the richest the fastest.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Can you explain what you're going to be doing for the installers?
Yeah, we're gonna again, we're gonna recruit for you. We're gonna teach you how to do SOPs. We're gonna teach you how to
salespeople or installers.
Installers. We're gonna bring them all the sales professionals to the installers and their territory, so they can scale.
Are you gonna help them with also recruiting? So you're gonna recruit salespeople for them.
Correct.
Are you also gonna be helping them recruit in other installers? Like
they don't have to. They can stay in their territory. Let's say I stay in CO Beach, and let's say we get a local installer in CO Beach. He can run the whole territory in CO Beach, and
he'll blow up.
Yeah, if you just choose one territory, and that's the issue that I found with a lot of installers. Oh, I want to do all of California. Just stick to one little territory, become a community. The community will have your back. They'd rather choose you because they know you're local, and that's the issue that I found with a lot of installers.
Dude, that's fire. Where you just like that applies to a lot of businesses.
Yeah,
that applies to a lot of businesses. I love it.
Yeah, it's just like your favorite restaurant in your local community. Oh, I like going to this restaurant because it's local. Yeah. Right. So you
shout out to Miguel Sushi in Fontana. Shout out to Kobe Japanese Steakhouse in Rancho. Those are small businesses.
Yeah,
they're not big franchises. And bro, like Miguel Sushi's, if it's not my favorite, it's one of my favorite sushi spots. And then same thing with Kobe Japanese Steakhouse to teppanyaki, like Benihana's.
Yeah.
Bitch slaps Benihana's.
Yeah.
And we go there once a month. So what's your target? Like, what are you projecting to do this year?
This year,
business model.
This year we're gonna for sure hit 1 million. My projection probably for next year is 2 million.
Are those gross or net numbers?
That's gross.
That's gross numbers.
Yeah.
The IRS doesn't watch, bro. You can
I hope they always watch. They always watch, bro.
All right. So What's your plan to like? How you gonna roll out this project for this new business?
Yeah.
What's your plan? What's your blueprint?
So a lot of it's actually word of mouth right now. A lot of them reach out to me on social media, and that's how we're able to get the installers. I ask qualified questions to make sure they can even fit our criteria, and then once we onboard them, we start recruiting for them.
How did you get that presence for them to be reaching out to you, like on social media? Do you do the same thing for salespeople?
Salespeople actually, yes, reach out to me. So I create a lot of articles. So when I watch the news, anything solar, I create my own article. I have my own Facebook group.
How long you been doing that?
Only 2 months. We already have 1,400.
How did you scale that so fast?
Word of mouth. Just started asking people, like, hey, follow my group. And that's really it.
Like, you did outreach?
Yeah. Yeah. On social media. Like, hey, I started a new, because I already had followers. I have 19,000 followers. Started a new Facebook group. You guys can join here.
Oh, so you got like a little under 10% already of your followers on
yes,
that page.
Correct.
And I'm assuming that those 19,000 are solar people.
Yes. Yeah.
How long did it take you to build the 19,000 followers?
Probably 2 years.
Just pumping content?
Yeah.
Nothing paid?
No, nothing paid.
All organic?
Yes. Yeah.
But super niche?
Yeah, super niche. But it's just not like in the United States. It's like anybody that follows solar sales, they're following me.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
That's a huge accomplishment, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
In 2 years, 20,000 followers and almost 2,000 in your Facebook community.
Yeah.
Within 2 years. Well, the other one was in 2 months.
2 months.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're going to blow up. You're going to be...
I hope so, man.
You're going to be a solar icon in the next couple of years.
That's my goal. I want to unify everybody together. I think that's where it's missing.
Sales orgs with installers with finance companies.
Correct.
Boom.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about one last thing before we wrap up. I want to talk about something that I'm personally very intrigued with that you shared with me is how you get leads for homeowners that want solar. I know we talked about your niche is meta ads.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because like that's something that I'm super interested in learning about myself from my businesses. We do some of it,
yeah,
but I'm not big on meta ads. I've tried them before. They work okay, not too crazy. Like, what's the secret sauce for you?
It's the retargeting. So let's say your roof has nothing to do with solar. You just need to find the right target, which is you can actually find that data and pay for that data. And I'll share it. You can go something called Deal Machine, and people that need roofs or homeowners, you can grab that data, CSV file, and put it in Meta, and you can retarget those people online. So instead of cold calling, texting, or whatever, you can use Meta, and then they'll target those people when they're online.
Is Deal Machine like PropStream? Have you heard of PropStream?
It's like PropStream.
The same thing.
It's the same thing.
I use PropStream.
Yeah, so you can just grab that data and upload it in your system.
Homeowners. Just homeowners. So that you're only targeting homeowners.
Correct.
So you can do this for any home service industry.
Yes.
You can pull a list. Fuck, that's interesting.
Bro. I didn't tell no one that. That's our secret now.
That's genius, bro.
Yeah.
So they only get that information if they're watching the show.
Correct.
And if they go follow you.
Correct.
For more information.
Correct.
Which brings me to my next topic, bro. How can people find you? How can they follow you?
You can go on Instagram, Ray Polanco. Just search Ray Polanco. You'll find me right there.
Ray Polanco.
Ray Polanco.
Thank you, bro. I really
man.
appreciate you coming all the way out from Seal Beach. It was fun. I learned a lot from you.
Thanks, dude. Same here.
And yeah, I'm super excited for you, bro. I wish you luck with your new model. Same business, just a new model.
Correct.
If you guys are installers, if you guys are salespeople, make sure you follow him. If you guys are interested in the solar industry, if you guys want to go heavy on the solar industry, I'm telling you, it wasn't easy for me. I didn't have somebody like Ray on my side that I probably could have saved my business if I did.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, make sure you guys go give them a follow. And you can always apply stuff that entrepreneurs are teaching you. Like I just learned something for home services.
Yeah.
Right? How to freaking retarget homeowners.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I work with marketing companies.
Yeah, you can find any data online, and you can just upload it.
Where did you learn that?
I learned it. I had a dream. I dreamed of it. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I could just grab this data and put it in here. That's it.
You invented it.
Yes.
You pioneered it.
Pretty much.
You got to run with it, dude.
I know. That's
You might end up starting a freaking meta marketing company. Shit,
Yeah.
I would hire you. I mean, if I was in home services,
Yeah.
for you to run ads the same way.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Look, like even if an installer comes on board with us, I'm not charging them anything. It's all free information, right? When I recruit, that's the money where I make, the recruiting part.
Are you going to run the marketing for them?
Yeah. I'll teach all the sales guys how to do it for free.
So the sales guys have to run their own marketing.
Correct.
And they generate their own leads.
Correct.
Close their own leads.
Correct.
How much, what kind of marketing budget do you use on that?
The marketing budget, like per lead,
For Meta? What are you spending a month?
it was so good that how much I spent a month? I probably spent like 20 grand. Yeah.
So you probably have a shit ton of leads.
Yes.
Shit ton of leads. All right. Man, I learned a lot. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you go follow my boy Ray. And we're going to see you guys next time on Mondays with Mike. Let's get it.
Was that good?
That was fucking great. That was great, bro.
You guys want a picture real quick?